Seventh week in ordinary time, Thursday reflection. It's always important to diagnose yourself what is happening to you without simply moving with the current. You have to probe into your hearts and see, probe into your life and see what's happening. So there, if you are going with your strength, with your judgment, it can be really dangerous, my dear friends. So you have to completely break yourself open, ask the Lord to speak to you all the time. That word should be a double-edged sword. Double-edged sword where your thoughts are tested. Because it's important. You can be misled. Because our thoughts are very deceptive. Our mind is deceptive. Satan can, in a very shrewd way, take you away from the will of the Father. So you have to be vigilant all the way, all the time. So that's exactly the first reading beautifully says, do not be preoccupied with your wealth and say, I'm self-sufficient. Do not follow your inclination and strength, walking according to the desires of your heart. So you, my car, my petrol, and my business, It's not the way. You are here with a purpose. You are here to do the will of the Father. So it's not your desire, that Lord's will. Even Jesus had to go to the Gethsemane, Garden of Gethsemane, where he prayed, desiring his will and God's will. He said, if possible, take this cup away from me, but thy will be done, not mine. So your desires can be misleading, deceptive. I desire something. So I become very glued to that. I desire something. I ardently want it. So that can be a tunnel vision, where I just want that person. So I don't see anything else around me. You can be blinded with your desire, my dear friends. Do not say, who will have power over me? For the Lord will surely punish you. And you can't be overconfident of your path, of your ways of doing things. Because you say that I'm prospering, everything is okay, so there's no problem at all. No. The proper time, God will shake you and break you. Even that is providence. Do not say, I sinned, and what happened to me? For the Lord is slow to anger. Do not be so confident of atonement that you add sin to sin. Do not say, his compassion is great, he will atone for the multitude of my sins. For both mercy and wrath are with him. So you can't simply justify your ways. That God is merciful, He's loving Jesus, He will forgive me, it's okay. No, it's not so. So every action has a reaction. You will have to pay for your sin, pay a price for your sin. So you simply can't take things for granted. No, it's not the way. You have to test your thoughts. Ask yourself, both mercy and wrath are with him, and his anger rests on sinners. Do not delay to turn to the Lord or postpone it from day to day. Do not delay to turn to the Lord or postpone. Don't ever postpone your decision. If you find this is wrong, if your conscience is speaking against it, simply do it. It's important. So suddenly the wrath of the Lord will go forth, and at the time of punishment you will perish. Do not occupy yourself with dishonest wealth, for it will not be benefit you in the day of calamity. So it's not my strength, my dear friends. It's rather his, with the way I depend on him. That's where you have to identify yourself. At that time Jesus said to his disciples, whoever gives you a cup of water or drink because you belong to Christ will by no means lose its rewards. So once you are connected to him strongly, once you say no to your desires and cling on to him, the blessings will be enormous. You are going to be a blessing to the others. Those who offer a cup of water, that person will be blessed because he's offering that cup of water to you. Because you are going to represent Jesus. You are going to be Alter Christus. So it happens when you deny yourself and take up your cross and follow. So that's the beauty of this denial. That's the power of this pain. Whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him if a great millstone were hung around his neck and he were thrown into the sea. So, how important to follow him? Those who hinders that following of the Lord, those who become stumbling block in that path, the punishment would be very great. Even the stink of that dead body should not come. That's what tie a millstone and put it into the deep sea. Even that carcass is contagious. So that can happen to you. So that's important. That's important that you completely depend on him. And if your hand causes you to sin, cut it off. Now, this is not simply imputating, cut things off. Identify your disturbance. Identify your problem and deal with that directly. And cut it off means there can be pain. Pain purifies you. Pain prepares you. Pain with the word of the Lord. Word of the Lord is double-edged sword. So, it is important that you realize that this person, this attachment, this thing, my desire is a stumbling block. You have to nip in the bud. You have to do away with that. It's important. Even though it causes pain to you, the other person, it does not matter. But then out of love, because of Jesus, you have to take that decision one day. It's important. Whatever it is, your right hand can be useful. Your right eye can be very useful. Your leg can be very useful. But the point the Lord is speaking, simply useful means, simply even in sin, things can be very useful. But because it is useful, you cannot avoid sin. You cannot bypass sin. We have to decide. There can be a radical decision, strong decision, harsh decision sometimes. We are not here to please people. Rather, we are here to please God. So in pleasing God, you might despise people. You won't be there in their good books. You'll be outcasted. You'll be beaten. That's the nature of the world, society. That's exactly why if your foot causes you to sin, cut it off. It is better for you to enter life lame than with 2 feet to be thrown into the hell. So the comforts of this world and the glory that you are going to experience in heaven are 2 different levels. So more you seek comforts of this world, you will be rejected there. So that's exactly why we have to change our motives. I'm here to comfort the Lord by saying no to myself. So when you do that, when you're going to be powerful, you're going to be a blessing. There are worms that are, salt is good, for everyone will be salted, everyone will be salted with fire. Salt is good, but if the salt has lost its saltiness, how will you make it salty again? Have salt in yourself and be at peace with one another. Be at peace with one another. So you are called to become a salt, sacrifice for the other person, letting go of yourself. And that is a calling Jesus is asking you to follow, and that the path Jesus wants you to follow. Amen. May God bless you.